Welcome. I am Trinity, the TarotTactician. I can be reached at TheTarotTactician@hotmail.com. I am only reachable at that address, and I do not initiate contact. As with everything, exercise your own judgment and use your own discernment. In my world, clear your karmic energy or leave with it. Let's see. So this reading is carrying on from the last. This is the tangent that almost came through in the last reading, but this is specifically about the relationship and how there's a disappointment being felt in this new connection that's just been established. But the disappointment is not what it seems. The biggest thing that I'm hearing is that each of you is allowing the other to sort of take the lead, but neither one of you are really taking the lead. You're allowing yourself to sort of fall back and observe where the other person is taking you, but you're both just kind of sitting in the same pool, not really moving anywhere, just kind of treading water. And you're relaxed and you're content, but you don't want to stay in that zone for too long. There's a lack of action that is making you both uncomfortable. High Priestess. As well, what was coming through at the shuffle is the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Cups. This is a blessing. The Lovers with the Eight of Swords came out together. This is a blessing, but it requires work from both sides, and it's going to require very honest communication. There's something that both of you are in your heads about. Four of Swords. There is an air of self-sabotage here, but that's not a leading issue. Ten of Swords. It can be if you allow that to be the action. However, I'm seeing clear communication before that even transpires. Ace of Pentacles. There's also a fear. There's a consideration that if you don't accept this the way it is, that you're not going to be able to find better. It's a false and limiting belief. The Emperor. You both are the best. So why are you not actioning that? Two of Wands. Okay, I'm hearing that both of you in previous relationships, Queen of Swords, both of you were the ones to make majority of the effort to keep the train rolling down the tracks. And it's almost like you've reached a point where you're both just tired. You both wanted to rest. And you wanted the other one to do the work that you've done. And it's interesting, Wheel of Fortune, there it is. It's interesting because you're both very keen on each other. There's just an exhaustion. Exhaustion. It's tough when you're feeling both mentally and physically drained. And there's almost like a guilt as well, where it's like, well, I'm not showing this person the same amount of effort or the same amount of patience or consideration that I'd shown previous people that didn't deserve any of that at all. And yet here I am with this new opportunity, and I'm just so tired. Ten of Wands, below the Ten of Swords. The interesting thing here, too, is that you're both making effort. It's just not the amount that you wish to have applied, same as previous. Each of you needs some breathing space, and it seems like that's what you've been given today. Very peaceful breathing space to really think about what the potential of this relationship is and where it's going. Ten of Swords. And it's perfectly fine to have an open conversation with each other and check in. Say, look, we've been dating for X amount of time. What do you see that is going well? What do you see that could use improvement? Almost like a job, a review. And it doesn't have to be so formal, but certainly it should be open and honest. This is somebody that you can talk to and that will make honest efforts and actions when things require improvement. But it's going to require tact. 2 of Pentacles. A thorough understanding of what each of you are currently dealing with. Because each of you is withholding troubles or circumstances from the other, not to be deceptive, but to not add strain to the relationship. 2s are significant here. You've got 3 out on the board, 2, 2, 2. Same with 10s, we've got 3 10s out here as well. I'm hearing too that the secrecy, again, not to be deceptive, but in order to not apply unnecessary burdens on this, it's not affecting your level of trust for each other, but it is affecting your individual faith in this connection ever so slightly. And that's something that should be discussed because you don't want it to be planting any seeds of doubt. You don't want anything to fester. 6 of Wands and the 2 of Cups. 4 2s out here now. Wow. You're both very peaceful people. 10 of Cups. Another 10. Okay. The 5 of Swords. What I do really like about this energy is that there's no sense of unhealthy competition. Both of you in the past have experienced people really trying to bring out a dark, competitive... these are narcissistic traits that I'm picking up on here. It's dark entities that neither one of you want to deal with ever again. So you're being very cautious in how you're handling this. And you both know that neither one of you comes from that darkness. So there's no concern about that here. But also, too, don't get mistaken into handling this with kid gloves. That's not necessary. Ace of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles. The advice I'm hearing here is to engage in spiritual practices together. You both do your own thing individually, but find something that brings you into unit. Confirmed. Find something that brings you into a dual practice together. It's time you really start exercising how your energies sync. You can start simple. It can be a meditative practice before a nap or before sleep. It could be starting to get into Reiki healing with one another. Stretching, working out. Your diet is playing a big factor between you two. Okay, so one individual I'm picking up on here, your diet has completely changed in the time that you've spent with this individual, and it's almost bringing you down. The foods you're consuming are taking you out of the alignment that you should have together. And it's very fair to have that discussion And one of you is feeling that it's too premature to say so, but the other one is feeling the same way. If you were to bring this up, this other individual would agree with you. But they are stuck. One of you, or both, one of you, is stuck in a system where poor eating is part of a daily routine or a habit. And this could have to do with not peer pressure, but being around other people that share those same habits or views, or just being on a time crunch, I'm hearing. And the work environment. Okay. So one of you is more refined than the other, and that's not to talk down on anybody. But the fear here is that the one that is has some catching up to do to bring themselves up to your level. It's going to be a big challenge for them to do that, and you're not wanting to make them feel uncomfortable in their decisions, so you're not saying anything. At the same time, you're feeling, I'm hearing backed up. This could actually be greatly affecting your GI tract. So really pay attention to that. And there's a big emphasis too on not using trickery to guide this person in a different way. This has to come from pure honest communication, justice. 11:44 on the timer. There is clarity here, which I like. Knight of Pentacles. King of Wands. I'm picking up as well, somebody here is putting too much pressure on the sexual aspect. Judgment. Too much pressure on the sexual aspect of this connection, as if hoping that that's going to smooth things over, and you know that's not the case. You know it's not going to go that way, darling. You have to correct this. Stop delaying communication that needs to occur, but come at it from a place of love. Speak from the heart. Because both of your energies I very much like. And you work extremely well together. And you're about to perfect something that's really going to catapult you into greatness as a couple. Don't be seeking a honeymoon period. You're not going to get this. You're not going to have a honeymoon period in this connection. This is the time to work out the growing pains and to see what needs tweaking from both sides. Acknowledge for yourself too what you decide that you're going to work on individually, and you can present that to this person saying, look, this is what I'm seeing that I need to work on. Is there anything else that you're seeing that I'm missing that I could use exercise for? And is there anything that you're seeing on your side that you'd like to improve that we can hold each other accountable to? Big emphasis on mutual and individual accountability and respect. 8 of Wands. It came out inverted. I was told to flip it upright, but what this card is saying is take a break. Think this through. There's other stuff that you need to deal with first on your individual basis. You can refer back to the reading before this one if necessary. Because there's personal action to be taken. Then this can be discussed with more clarity. But your individual space must be sorted first. And I'm not seeing any signs of conflict or aggression, or you two are both very peaceful people that can attack this, approach this with maturity. Page of Pentacles. Be gentle with yourselves, be gentle with one another. we'll check in on this again, and I wish you peace.